Happy Wednesday, everybody, and hope everyone's having a great day so far. Now, this is your stimulus check news. And guys, remember on Friday, I will be announcing the winners of a $100 free Amazon gift card. If you would like to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, click the bell, and give this video a like. Then leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts on President like Joe Biden and whether or not you think he will pass the $2,000 stimulus checks.
I expect they'll conclude that Congress's actions averted a lot of suffering. But more must be done. Economists don't always agree, but I think there is a consensus now. Without further action, we risk a longer, more painful recession now and longer-term scarring of the economy later. The pandemic has caused widespread devastation. Whole industries have paused their work. Over the next few months, we're going to need more aid. Neither the president-elect nor I proposed this relief package without an appreciation for the country's debt burden. But right now, with interest rates at historic lows, the smartest thing we can do is act big.
Yeah. According to Yahoo News, $1,400 stimulus payments could arrive as early as February. Economic stimulus check section of the $1.9 trillion stimulus relief plan that Joe Biden unveiled last Thursday will include a $1,400 stimulus check to supplement the already passed $600 stimulus payments that were sent out earlier this month. It is very likely that a third stimulus check of $1,400 will be sent out within the next month. So the likely best case, now the question is, when will we get a third stimulus check of $1,400? Well, the likely best case scenario is that Congress passes a bill by mid-February and money hits bank accounts before the end of the month. More likely is that a package is passed by the end of March and checks go out in early April. Now, it may take a while for the stimulus payments to go out due to the Republicans. The Republicans are likely to push back on the relief package, lowering its price tag from nearly $2 trillion to $1 trillion. The price tag of the relief package, called the American Rescue Plan, is likely to face pushback from Republican lawmakers, who last year resisted Democratic efforts to pass a $2 trillion bill.
Currency should be determined by the market, that Treasury and the administration would not seek to interfere in that process. And in fact, the administration would go after any of those actors who might try to do so.
The United States does not seek a weaker currency to gain competitive advantage, and we should oppose attempts by other countries to do so. The intentional targeting of exchange rates to gain commercial advantage is unacceptable.
She also talked about fiscal policy and the potential for raising the corporate tax rate. She said that would not happen while the pandemic was still depressing the economy, and that any increase in the tax rate would be accompanied by new investment and spending as well. But she dodged a question on SALT, the $10,000 cap on state and local tax deductions that came from the Republican chairman of the committee, Chuck Grassley. She said that the administration would look to understand and study the issue a little bit more before making it.
Security analyst Hunter Hammond expects the ultimate package to be trimmed to $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion. But most analysts think lawmakers on both sides of the aisle will back the $1,400 direct payments, which economists view as a lifeline of many cash-strapped workers who lost their jobs or seen their income plummet during the pandemic. Now, support for another stimulus package may gain steam, given several developments that point to widening economic distress. Multiple analysts told CBS News the market is back to an expectation that more fiscal stimulus is all but inevitable in the early days of the Biden administration, with the release of a $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. While we anticipate that additional fiscal support remains likely, the timing and scope are very much in flux. Chief among the issues are whether Republican lawmakers would support the package, or if the Biden administration would eventually tackle its spending priorities by breaking apart the spending proposals into two bills. On Tuesday, Janet Yellen, the soon-to-be Treasury Secretary, said that the incoming administration would focus on winning quick passage of its $1.9 trillion pandemic relief plan. Janet Yellen argued that additional stimulus, including Biden's proposal for a $15 minimum wage, are necessary to prevent economic scarring due to this pandemic. Everyone tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Will there be a third stimulus check of $1,400?
For breaks with 3 that go right to the heart of a new set of priorities, reducing carbon emissions, promoting innovation. The three are clean electricity, clean transportation, and energy conservation. I'm also developing a proposal that would make polluters pay for the costs of climate change, with much of the revenue returned directly to the American people through annual cash.
Now, CBS News posed the question of, are the $1,400 checks a done deal? Well, it's very likely, because according to Wall Street and political analysts, there is growing support among Republican lawmakers for additional stimulus directed toward low and middle income households. CBS News goes on to say, CBS News reports that Heights Security Hammond. CBS News reports that there's an 85% chance a scaled down package will be passed in the first 3 months of 2021.
As Chairman Grassley noted in trade, over the last 4 years, the American people got a lot of tough talk about trade, but there was a big gap between the tough talk and delivering on the big promises. This administration drove away our economic allies. It actually isolated us in the crucial fight against trade cheats in China and elsewhere. Members of this committee are also concerned about currency manipulation and other tactics that rip off high-skill, high-wage jobs at a time when wage growth has got to be right at the top of our economic agenda. I'm looking forward to working with a Secretary Yellen on all these issues and more.
Now, if a package is passed by the end of March, people might get their checks by early April. But in some cases, people might experience delays in receiving the money. In regards to unemployment benefits, will the CARES Act expand the jobless benefits to workers like the self-employed and part-timers who do not qualify for assistance? And CBS News reports that, however, it did not allow states to forgive money paid to workers by mistake, meaning states had to recoup these overpayments even if your worker wasn't at fault or able to pay the money back.
Certainly hope, and Chairman Grassley and I have been talking about it, that with her stellar, extraordinary qualifications, we can get her nomination approved as quickly as possible. And it seems to me with the economic crunch we're facing, it ought to be approved on day one. Now, I'll close by saying everybody's got a constitutional right.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate everyone's amazing support.